At the turn of the century, experts were predicting that by now classrooms would no longer feature human teachers, but instead holograms would be delivering lessons in their place. And while new technology has been incorporated into teaching, we are certainly nowhere near that lofty future vision. Joining us now to discuss this is Michael Cowling from Central Queensland University. Good evening to you, Michael. Thanks for your time. Well, holographic teachers, is this an idea that you think has been put on the back burner for now, or do experts think the medium is still the way of the future?
Look, I'm a teacher, so I really hope that holographic teachers won't end up as our future, because then I'd be out of a job. But I think ultimately what we're looking to do is we're trying to use holograms and in particular mixed reality in new and different ways in the classroom as we push forward.
Now, virtual reality is already being used at several universities. Is this a particular product proving successful?
It is, certainly. Virtual reality is pushing forward, and especially now that we're getting commercial devices that are cheaper and easier for teachers to use. And I work with a lot of teachers, and I think we're getting to the point where the hardware is getting there and they're starting to have to build the content and build effective content that's actually going to work for them in the classroom. But what we're seeing now is that we're moving from virtual reality towards this idea of mixed reality. And mixed reality seamlessly blends together the physical and the digital. So the students are still in the classroom space, but they get the opportunity to interact with augmented objects on top of that.
So describe that to me in a little more detail. We're seeing pictures on screen of students wearing those goggles or the glasses. How does mixed reality differ from virtual reality?
So mixed reality is all about context. So whereas in virtual reality you are entirely enveloped in another world, and if anybody's ever worn a virtual reality headset, they'll know that you disappear from the real world entirely. You're in some other world. With mixed reality, we mix together the real world and the virtual world. And so we have an opportunity to still have the students in the classroom, still see the teacher, still see various different physical objects, but as well as that, see digital augmentation. So some of the images that you saw on the screen were students seeing a real classroom, working with other students, still being able to hear the teacher instruct them, but seeing a digital representation of the brain or of the heart in front of them that they can then manipulate and then they can work with.
Now, specifically in this field, there is a product called the Hololens, isn't there? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Microsoft Hololens has been around for a few years and is probably the biggest mixed reality device, the most popular mixed reality device. And when you put on a HoloLens, you can still see the world around you, but you see these digital objects, and Microsoft calls them holograms. And it's a very exciting technology because it's totally self-contained. So there's no computer needed. The entire device is worn on your head, and it also understands the environment that you're in. So you have an opportunity to place objects in different parts of the world and for different students to interact with those objects.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting product, and it was certainly fascinating to see how it interacts with those in the classroom. Now, on top of the HoloLens, are there any other new technological advances that are being developed at the moment that we could expect to see soon?
There's lots of interesting stuff going on. On top of the HoloLens, there's also the Magic Leap, which has just recently come to market. Is also a holographic device that you can wear. And then, of course, there are advances in AI and robotics. I think the future is bright for us in teaching, but as I said at the beginning, hopefully we'll still be standing in the classroom as teachers. There'll just be an opportunity for some of these devices to help augment the learning experience.
I'm sure you will. You do a fantastic job. Michael Cowling from Central Queensland University. Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Great to be here.